I'm outside the Albany station waiting on another train ride to Eugene. It's been almost a month since I've been there, I think. And today, I don't know if this comes across in the video, but the sky is kind of hazy. It's hot and my train is an hour late, so it's not the best day, but you know, that's one part of traveling. Things don't always go perfect. And here's my train, the Amtrak Cascades 503 coming in, and it's a bit late. And I was only planning to be in Eugene for 2.5 hours, really just to go there and come back. And that's going to be more like 1.5 hours. And I'm not going to complain too much, but I am going to complain a little because, well, I'll talk about that later. But for now, I'm just going to try to enjoy the trip. And it's going to pull in right here in front of me. Cut. Okay, time to put down my camera and get on the train. Now I am on board the train, and as you can see, I am alone in the car right now. That's not usually the case. Quite a few people got off at this station. I saw, you know, half dozen or so people getting off. The main point of the Amtrak Cascades is Seattle to Portland service, so the extension down through the Willamette Valley, even though it's the part I use the most, is not really the primary thing. So it's nearing the end of its run, and that's why I have all this air-conditioned car all to myself. This is what an Amtrak dining car looks like, or dining meal looks like, and it's not the world's most luxurious meal, but this restaurant has great scenery. Well, usually has great scenery. In September everything's dry, so not as beautiful as it sometimes is. So this is what a dining car looks like, or the lounge car looks like on the Amtrak Cascades. Fun place to have a party. So a few videos ago when I was down in Eugene, I said theoretically you could take this train from Portland, have a beer or a coffee in Eugene, then get right back on. And I actually mentioned that to people, and they were like, yeah, that's a great idea, let's do that. So I had a lot of positive feedback for the idea. And today I actually invited people to come on the train, you know, from Portland or wherever, and come to Eugene. And, you know, reality being reality, it's a Friday, work day for a lot of people, maybe most people. Nobody could do that. And so this train, it could be full of a party limo of a train, but, you know, reality interceded. And I like the Amtrak Cascade service, but, you know, I said, a lot of people said it would be a good idea. It's a good idea, and that's kind of the thing about the Amtrak Cascades is right now it's a good idea. But as we can see from this empty train car, at least at this point in the journey, you know, it's kind of hard for some people to turn that idea into a reality because the schedule doesn't quite line up, especially with the delays and stuff, and especially on this weird hazy day. But anyway, just take a look at this car and imagine having a party here. And I even brought my very red party shirt. Look at how red that shirt is. A lot of dirt, a lot of dust, a lot of dryness. Some of this might be confirmation bias, or, you know, we remember the past different. But in my mind, like right now it's September 9th, this should be the beginning of fall in Oregon. And so having it still be summer and still be dry and, you know, dusty and maybe even smoky like this so late is kind of a sign of climate change, because in my mind September is not a summer month, but now it is. So we are near Junction City right now, and I kind of feel like I'm in a Twilight Zone episode. So it's interesting to notice, I've talked about Eugene before and how it, has its reputation, or should I say reputations, because on one hand, Eugene is, very progressive, environmentally conscious, very professional, high education rates, but a lot of Eugene area is still based on forest products, other extraction industries, and things like this. We have a UPS facility, probably because we're right by the airport. So, I know there's not a lot to say about it, but...
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention, please. Dispatchers just put us in the siding here at Irving, which is just outside of Eugene. We're going to allow for our sister train 14 to get by us over here on the left-hand side. Once they get by us, we'll get a light and continue into Eugene. Apologize for the delay. Once again, folks, gonna let Amtrak 14 get by us on the left-hand side. Once we get a signal, we'll continue in to our final destination of Eugene.
So I was saying something about the economy of Eugene, but I kind of forgot what it was. Anyway, in conclusion, Eugene is a land of contrasts, and we'll be getting there sooner or maybe later. I also want to say the two cars behind me, the car through that door and then the next car on, are both pretty occupied. Like there's maybe a dozen people in each, and I don't know why this car is empty and why I'm sitting here. This is like the ghost train, and I just hope it doesn't get suplexed. Anyway, also I wanted to show, this is what the in travel reading is like. As you can see, there's like a focus on arts and wine, actually wine and arts. And that might say something about this train, that this is still oriented towards people who are doing leisure traveling, not really a work train. So, there are different theories about why we're all here, and the reason that I'm here riding this train today is probably not the reason that most people are. Here I am at the Eugene Station, and I have about 90 minutes before my train back to Albany comes, so I'm just going to take a little walk around the downtown area, maybe show some things I didn't before, and just see what's happening. Right here, we're just a few blocks from the train station, and there we have the Graduate Hotel, and right there we have the Holt Center, which is a performing arts center for theater, I think some live music, that type of thing, and probably one of the second largest performing arts center outside of Portland. And Eugene is a small artistic city, so it's a pretty big draw. What I wish they had is like 1 hour shows just for people off the train. You could like come here and see a 1 hour opera and then get back on the train. That's my dream. And then otherwise we just have a city on a muggy, kind of humid, smoky, weird day. And even though a lot of downtown Eugene is pedestrian friendly, a lot of it is like this. Still have a pretty wide road here. But over there, there's a pedestrian mall. So the best laid plans of mice and men go astray. And my plans weren't especially best laid, but I was planning on actually having some other people here today, having this party on the train and coming to Eugene and seeing the street life. And then my train was late, nobody else could make it, and there's really not a lot of street life here. Don't see a lot of like dancing in the streets. And we have this really weird, hazy, smoky day. So not exactly what I was planning, but that's the way of traveling. There is a place over here that says tea. I think I'm gonna splurge and get myself some fancy tea. So I said there's not a lot of street life going on, or a lot of, dining and activities on the street. I think that's really due to, like I said, this weird, hazy, uncomfortable day. Because when I went into the tea restaurant, which, by the way, had excellent tea, there was a lot of people in there. So I think it's just kind of quiet on the streets because, as mentioned, it's weird. You know, the apocalypse has been going on for so long, I forget that we're still not in normal times in a lot of ways. Anyway, I only have another 80 minutes here, so I'm going to walk around and see what's going on. This is somewhat ironic given the sky. The sun isn't supposed to look like that. That's definitely, or almost definitely, smoke, not just haze. So we have this little plaza with this very nice fountain. Once again, be nicer on a nicer day. Kind of came here on a weird day. We have these trees around here. And don't quote me on this because I'm not a local, but this plaza, and or this plaza over here, I believe that this is where either or both the Eugene Saturday Market or the Lane County Farmers Market are located, and that's on Saturday, and today is a Friday, so I can't see that. And it's something I would like to see, but due to what I've talked about with last mile problems with trains and buses and stuff, it would be very difficult for me to come here and get back on a Saturday, unfortunately. Okay, well, having seen something new, I am going to continue walking this way, and unfortunately I only have another 15 or so minutes to see what I haven't seen, where I have to turn around and go back to the train station. So I'm just going to complain again because I can. Consider this kind of like my birthday, even though it's not. I came to Eugene to kind of have the festive, you know, street life on a nice summer day, and I'm trapped in smoky hell in parking lots. Okay, actually, I don't mind too much. It is what it is. Want to see all sides of the city, not just the pretty times. This is another thing that's a little bit unusual, and it looks like this might be in the process of changing. As everybody is aware, there's a housing crisis in all the Northwest, including Eugene. Look at this big empty lot just across from downtown, or actually really in downtown, just on the edge of downtown. And that could be that when you have overpasses and roads, sometimes a scrap of land like this, even when it's big, it might be hard to have access to build housing here. Or they might be in the process of building something. It would be interesting to know. But this is the type of thing I noticed, that even in the middle of the housing crisis, there's a lot of good real estate that is not being used. Around downtown, there's also these very helpful, distance markers. The only problem is I don't know if that's designed for bicyclists or pedestrians. It looks like pedestrians because I'm pretty much following the time estimates, and I am walking pretty briskly. This is the Peter DeFazio Pedestrian Bridge, and this connects back into the system of trails that I've been on in previous trips here. And on my original plan, I was going to cross this bridge and see some of the river, see some of those trails. Then the things got later than I thought they would. There's the Willamette River, and it looks very full. They might be releasing water from some of the dams upstream to keep it full, because it looks more full than it should be considering how late we are in the year and how dry things are. But I'm not certain about that. Maybe that's just what it looks like. I'm not really familiar with Eugene. Anyway, on my original plan, I was going to have like a sit-down lunch. I was going to see downtown, then I was going to see the natural areas. And instead I had a cup of tea, ran through downtown, and I'm at the end of its run. But here there's a lot of people getting on. The station was basically packed. Also, it's a Friday night, so maybe college students going back, that type of thing. So it'll be a fun ride. I wish the day could have been a little bit more fun, but I had a good time. And I didn't get to see a lot new in Eugene, but it's good just to see something new every couple weeks. I can't live without it. I get very anxious and nervous. So even though it was a quick trip through Eugene, I hope it was fun for you, fun for watching, and it was pretty fun for me, even with this weird sky. And here it looks like we're coming to the end of the hazy sky, and it's actually pretty obvious. You can see the red sun there. And then just over here, it's pretty much a normal blue sky, maybe a little bit hazy. Well, that'll be nice when I get home. So after Junction City, the train mostly parallels 99 East, and not really a lot of settlements here. We'll pass by a few ones, Halsey and Shed and Tangent, before getting to Albany. But in general, just a lot of fields. The main point of the Amtrak Cascades is really connecting cities, Seattle, Tacoma, Portland, and going through the Willamette Valley is kind of secondary because, you know, as you can see, not really a lot of big cities here, but still very restful and very nice to look at. So pulling into Albany, a lot of warehouses, transportation stuff. The first time since February I've been coming back on the train. I've come back on buses, but now I'm coming back on a train and I'm seeing kind of the train side of things. So I just got off in Albany, and a lot of people getting on the train, or relatively a lot, about 20 people. And I'm going to go find a bus that goes back to Corvallis. And I've complained about the usual problem, don't know how long I'll be waiting here. Anyway, so with these trips, you know, someday I have something that I'm thinking about and I kind of want to show. Other times I just want to look at what's new. And today, because, you know, I was going to a place I've been in a few times before and I felt kind of dumb today. I didn't really have any central thoughts. I just kind of, you know, pointed my camera at things and saw what would happen. Hopefully it's been interesting. And also, you know, we have 2 more weeks of summer. So, you know, I'm kind of trying to see things while I can. It's shorter. I'll slow down the pace of videos, you know. Maybe won't be able to do this every Friday. We'll see. Anyway, for now, it was nice to see something new. Sometimes I just have to go somewhere and see something new, just kind of hit the reset button on my brain. Anyway, that was my story of the day.